It only took me 73 years. You'll ask, well, 73 years to do what? And that was to figure out the secret to success, to long life, to healing, to abundance, to life purpose, to emotional release and trauma release, anything you can think of. Yeah, it took me 73 years, but I figured it out and now I can give it to others. See, that's what we're supposed to do when we come into the world. We all are given a plan, a blueprint that we're meant to follow, but sometimes that gets really challenging because to get there, to figure out who we're meant to be and to live these lives, we have to move through all the old stuff. All of our old generational trauma, biases, beliefs, we all come in with them. And if we don't let go of them, we start to cause all sorts of things to happen within ourselves, our bodies, our illnesses, and all that, because I've had all of them. So I do understand that. I had more illnesses and diseases, accidents, things that most people couldn't understand. But what I did because of that is I figured out how to heal them. Because I've done all of that. Doctors are still trying to figure that one out as well. I understand. But you know people who have done that, and I'm saying it is possible, and I've lived it. But the way that I lived it was accessing higher states of consciousness, awareness, which we all can do, and took time because I had lots of generational trauma that I needed to move through, and I'm still doing it. We're never done as long as we're alive. But I also know that what I have is going to help others become who they're meant to be, and then we have a very different world. We're moving through a period which I've talked about so much called the restructuring. None of this is happening accidentally because everything is created by energy, the energy we choose to hold about ourselves and what we choose to put into the world. And if we don't move through the old stuff, the biases, the hatred, the anger, all of that that's always within us, then we can't experience the lives we want to have, and it makes it very difficult to contribute to our world. And then it also makes it very difficult for the world to evolve because we all do it. I'm going to share a message that I received on November 21st of 2020. Now, it's on 21st of 2020. And it's kind of funny because I'm doing a talk tomorrow about our planetary ascension, because that is what is occurring in our world. Not accidental, all these events are happening. And when we understand how we create things energetically, then we can get a hold of this, and we may not be as frightened as these changes are happening, because they're going to go on, as I've said, for at least another year or more. And we help them when we decide that we're going to love ourselves, that we're going to become who we're meant to be and own our authentic selves. But this is the message that will make sense to you. And it's just kind of funny that I'm going to be doing a talk tomorrow talking about something just like this. And I didn't plan that. We just figure these things out later. Nothing's happening accidentally. There are no coincidences. They're just things we start to figure out later. Okay, the salvation of the world depends on you. Yes, we do mean you, or you would not be alive now. Hopefully, we will provide you with more evidence of this and why you thought it might have been a good idea to live through a pandemic. We have said you and your world are moving through a massive restructuring. While we know most others, but not many who read our words, do not believe they had lived before or had other lifetimes. However, we assure you that is true. Otherwise, you would have a challenging time explaining evolution. That sentence will make sense to you soon. We gave Roger information years ago that informed this current period, but he didn't understand it then, as it was not needed until now. We will leave at the end the message which explains the meaning of salvation. We gave Roger this title today to take him back more than 30 years where he studied A Course in Miracles. And one of the lessons was the salvation of the world depends on me. At the time, Roger could not embody that as you have not. But now the message we will leave makes sense, and he is devoting his life to living what we gave him. The point of this message is that each was born to evolve in some particular and meaningful way to you, and this time in your world is helping you when you do not resist the urgent need to release previously held limitations. The big surprise is the goal is only one you had in this lifetime. You will be fine. This is the message from 2017. When you understand that the experiences you have had, and especially the ones that you thought were difficult, actually brought you a greater benefit, that is how salvation feels. When you come to understand what you thought were unrelated events and circumstances of your life were actually all woven together to provide you with an almost magical tapestry of your life that you might use to provide even greater benefit to others, that is how salvation feels. When you come to understand that no one else ever did anything to you, but you allowed those things to occur so you could become your best self, that is how salvation feels. Of course, I couldn't have understood all of that when I received the message in 2017, but I didn't understand all of it when I received it in 2020, but I understand it all now. I'm saying that because we develop in our consciousness over time. We have to use that. Otherwise, we don't get anywhere. This is why I've been talking about, staying in my work for a year, because then you completely change. It took me 35 years to compile all of this work, when I'm giving it to everyone now for that's changing them. In 2021, when I said everyone, listen, you can change your life and I have this information and it's so inexpensive, people said that's not possible. They said, you can't do that. And I'm going to show you something that I know it was possible. But again, it was challenging for me, just like we all do. We doubt ourselves, but I've got something else for you. And it's just a couple of minutes and you will understand what I meant, because I doubted myself when I was going to put this work out. But I'm saying this too, because I've opened it up just again, because I'm continuing on. I have so much more that I'm going to give everyone. And I'll share it here.
I find this work is very powerful. They change a lot very quickly. It's quite surprising how things are changing for me.
I want to say how grateful I am that you've done this. And the time that you've put through on this is just amazing. And as we get older and we put through something like this into the world, you don't know the benefits of it until years later.
I just want to thank you for the program. Probably a year or two ago, if there was a tough decision to make, especially about money or anything like that, I would let fear and worry guide me away from a decision that might have helped me grow.
I have moved. I have made some positive changes. Hey, good, bad, or ugly, you did it. That's the main thing.
When you say the time is now, and I always appreciate it, because now more than ever, I feel a little bit more satisfied myself, because especially lately, I keep leaving a project not finished.
I love the program. I love the questions, but I think that being aware of everything that's inside of you and bringing it out onto paper, it really does make you step forward in that area.
The way the questions penetrate into your memory and into your past experiences is so unique. Yeah, it really goes deep very, very quickly. I mean, I'm only on day 3, but the way the questions are presented and the things you read before and the whole steps you go through, probably a lot of people's experiences, but it goes really deep, really, really quickly.
I mean, every day has its difficulties, but it's better than it was. I'm doing more things that I enjoy, and I find that I personally feel like I'm meant to do my book and everything, and then with the acting, I'm working on all that.
I've been taking so much courses, especially with this pandemic. I approach different from Tony Robbins, from Bob Proctor, from Jack Canfield, and also I've been following Abraham Hicks, but never really brought me the result that I wanted to do it. So this course is very more, I found that I think it's a bit faster.
Roger, I just wanted to say thank you again, because a few years ago I realised that voice coaching wasn't the only thing that I could do, and that I had something else, but I didn't know what it was. I had no idea what it was.
And That was 2 years ago. And it's still the same. Those people have made such great strides. And I'm going to give this to so many people because I know the difference it will make in our world. And I hope you come to the talk tomorrow. If you listen to that, you will understand a bit more. I'm determined that we're going to see a better world. And the way that I'm going to help that is by causing so many people to become happy, to know who they are, have their life purpose, become abundant, prosper, and all of that. And we stop killing one another. We create something so different. And I have the information. That's why it took me 73 years to do it. All right. See you soon.